Hello everybody, welcome back to Financial Trading Basics Part 11. Bull season, going to the moon. Markets close at records highs. Is there going to be a correction? Is there going to be a pullback? Are we in a bubble? Fuck no, we're about to hit super more highs this year. But for real. This episode I'm just going to talk about my current portfolio positions and my trading perspectives for 2021. Because so far up into this point in this series, we've talked mainly about just more, not like I said, more penny stocks for equity positions, more options positions for bigger board stocks or higher market cap stocks. But I typically take, when I'm trading, I typically take short positions because I see them as more consistent. But a bull position or a long position has way more profit potential. Talked a lot about market research. Had not been investing or trading too much last year, but I should have some good cash flow this year, hopefully. So I just wanted to talk about my positions. Not going to talk too much about ALKM and CMGO. I've covered both of those in this series. Not too excited about either of the company, but they're just penny stocks that I have traded and followed for literally years now. So I know what's going on with the company. With both of them, I know like the CEO, the revenue or the expected revenues. So I'm not too excited about either company. I just have been following them for years, and I'm comfortable at different price points and the pivots and the resistance and the support. But ALKM is a CBD industry. It's in the CBD industry with a patent, basically just a way to infuse water with cannabinoid or CBD. Almost got a 7 million market cap. Remember, market cap is just your outstanding share size times your current price point. It does have a price or authorized shares. A/S is authorized shares. O/S is outstanding shares. So it's authorized up to 5.5 billion, which I consider kind of a lot, or at least medium for a penny stock. Like I said, I see it as a medium-term trade. I'm not super excited about this company specifically. I'm super excited about the CBD and the hemp and cannabis space in general. Shitty CEO, he posts a lot. Back I traded this, I've been around ALKM for years. Just posts a lot of expectations on Facebook that don't necessarily follow through, so I see that as a negative, and I'm not sure about their profitability. That's why I see them as a medium-term trade. CMGO is in the entertainment industry. It's got revenue of about 1.5 million. I really like the share structure on this one. It has less than 100 million outstanding shares, and the CEO is also retired shares just when the company buys shares back in the open market and then takes them off the open market. They won a lawsuit, which I saw as a positive. I have about $1,500 in CMGO, and my price on that is 0.0057. The ALKM, I have like small money in that, like maybe $600 at 0.3 zeros and a 5, 0.0005. And I like the CMGO, just another company I've just been around for a while. I know how it trades. And like I said, I really like the outstanding share size. And my trading thesis, honestly, for micro cap or penny stocks is literally, do I think the company is not going to go out of business? Then I will invest in some sort of stimulus in terms of like PR or fundamental development on a given time frame. And the penny stocks and options trades, I'm looking for kind of as much money as I can make as fast as I can. Like I said, I'm looking for trades. But these other ones, MEDF, MMEDF, BFT, CCL, and I'll talk about Bitcoin in another clip. But I like these for fundamentals. CCL is Carnival Cruise Line. BFT is a SPOC. I'll just go through them. MEDF, I really like this for the psilocybin, LSD, MDMA, for the fundamental reason that I know all of these trials are going to come back positive because this shit is the most sound science ever. So MEDF is a company that I will be adding to. My entry position is, I think it was $3.20 just the other day. I have about $1,500 in there. Their float is 135 million, which I think is good for, its price point $3. I don't have the market cap up here, but whatever the float is times the price, 600 million. They have several trial results coming out at the end of 2020, 2021. They were a recent IPO, but my trading thesis on this one is just it's a good industry, and I know what the trial results are going to be. So I will add to that position. I mean, it could depreciate, 50, 60%. I will add heavy throughout the year to this position. BFT is a SPOC, which I don't know what the acronym is, but it's just it doesn't have any current revenue right now. It doesn't have a balance sheet. It's an entity formed to acquire another company. I don't know if SPOC is specifically to acquire another company, but this SPOC is. And they're acquiring PaySafe, and they have 1.5 billion in revenue. Positive sentiment. It's been on CNBC. It's been several times. And frankly, because I want to be honest about my trading thing, is if the sentiment's positive enough, I will enter a trade with basically no review of their balance sheet. Like I said, BFT doesn't have a balance sheet, but PaySafe does. I didn't look at anything fundamental there. Because if you once you trade for a while and you're comfortable and confident, other people do good due diligence. And so if you're a reasonable person and you're out looking to make a quick buck, just listening to other people and their due diligence and their sales pitch of an investment can be very informative. So for me, honestly, it was a very positive sentiment. That's why I opened the position. 183 million outstanding shares. I think that's pretty good. I don't have too much. I have a lot of experience analyzing outstanding share sizes for microcaps. Anything under a billion outstanding share size for microcap is very good in my opinion. Anything over billions, 5 billion, 10 billion is a lot. For middle market to high cap stocks, I just don't have enough experience because typically your micro cap stocks have little to no revenue, whereas in big cap stocks do. So I don't know the typical how a company with 500 million outstanding shares or 5 billion outstanding shares at a market cap of $25 billion. I really don't know how that affects or how those trade or just enough experience to make definitive statements. I have about $1,500 in BFT. I will add a little bit to here, probably not too much. Like I said, I really want to be in MEDF. That's the one I'll add to the most out of all of these. And this BFT is a medium-term trade. I don't know, 3 to 12 months. And then I'll reassess. MEDF, I'm looking for the long-term, years. CCL, Carnival Cruise Line, just a comeback COVID play. I have like $300. All of these are long equity positions. Carnival Cruise is a long stock option position. 1.1 billion outstanding shares, 22 billion market cap, decent balance sheet. I just looked at it for 5 seconds. I didn't dive into it too much. But the revenues were going up, and I expect a lot of bounce back sentiment. And like I said, bull season, I'm bull on the fundamentals of the entire market. As soon as they start publishing my science, all of the market sentiment's going to be literally unprecedented. And then we're going to talk about Bitcoin. I wanted to talk more about that trade and the fundamentals. So just another quick before we get into Bitcoin, I'll give you another update in 3-6 months. I'll just do portfolio update videos, give you how my positions are doing, how I've added to them, if I've closed them, blah blah blah. And like I said, this series will be a lot more. I'll do live trading once I get real sustained cash flow, and like I said, those will be a lot more interesting and fun. Bitcoin. So what I wanted to say about Bitcoin is I've just seen, like, today is the 20th, the 21st. It is the January 21st, 2021. I was just watching CNBC. The head of Guggenheim Partners comes on and he's like, he thinks maybe Bitcoin shoulda, woulda, coulda. Again, people in the financial industry, they don't know what the fuck to do, so they just gotta, maybe this could happen, that should happen, that might happen, and then it just says, if it goes in their favor, they say, well, see, told you. And if it goes against them, they're like, well, told you might not do that. And in general, my point is just shoulda, woulda, coulda is not an operative statement. But for the Bitcoin trade specifically, the Guggenheim partner guy comes out and he's like, I think he personally called for a 400 price point in the long term. So for Bitcoin specifically, the entire fundamental trade is the appreciation and depreciation cycles of the halving until it plateaus at a respectable, like, the market cap of Bitcoin. Like, market cap, you just take however many units of something's out in the market, it times its price point. And so, first of all, for the Guggenheim guy, and just most of the CNBC contributors, the trade timing to me is goofy. Every single one of the halving cycles, like I said, it's been, the halving event happens, the peak of the price movement is 18 months past that. Now, what would make that stop happening? Again, once it plateaus in correlation or relation to other assets. And so people come out and say, if this much cash flow comes out of gold and goes into Bitcoin, it's a strange analogy, first of all, to correlate gold and Bitcoin because of the timing of Bitcoin. And so, all right, we've already covered the supply is limited, but there's going to be more people. The bullish on the market in general. To call like a top, just as an example, the Guggenheim guy says we might have seen a top for the next year or so. To say a top or a bottom when we're 12 months away from the peak of every other appreciation or depreciation cycle is, to me, again, just I'm not defending the Bitcoin trade in any way. It's like, what the fuck have you guys looked at? Like, have you looked at the Bitcoin charts? Why would this appreciation and depreciation cycle be any different? Is it being adopted? Yes. Do people use it? Yes. Even if it just as an investment. So, we talked about in the last episode market sentiment. Even if the word's out of money manager's mouth, all sentiment follows price point. And if price points don't matter at all, follow the fundamentals. And so again, it's just the amount of incompetence I've seen in assessing what cryptocurrency is doing economically is I wouldn't say it's funny, it's just sad. People just are too stupid. And it's a plateau in price action. Bitcoin price will plateau. Is that at $1 trillion market cap, 5 trillion? I don't know. Because we don't know what the GDP is going to look like in 5, 10, 15 years. And so, like I said, my approach to Bitcoin is I will be selling out by the end of this year. Like I said, I don't see any reason why the peak, whether the peak or just the peak wouldn't be next year. But I think that's all I wanted to talk about for Bitcoin there. Like I said, mainly just the timing of the trade is the biggest thing because of the limited supply. So following price point, you should follow price point as a percentage of the previous economic cycle until it starts to plateau. And I think the plateau will be, this thing, it has every 4 years. So maybe 4, 5, 6 more cycles. Who really knows? Like, who knows what the market's going to look like in 25 years? But the fundamental question is virtual currency going away? No, it's literally already here since 1930. I don't like the analogy to gold at all, but again, most money managers, because the correlation of assets is real. Just for an example, Bitcoin and the ticker Riot blockchain. I mean, it's very easy to find when this thing appreciates, this thing also appreciates. When this thing depreciates, this other thing also depreciates. But the market's all connected, and so outside of those 1 or 2 direct correlated assets where it's just very clear, I think it's a genuine open economic question. And so the intelligence level of Bitcoin or gold. Is the money going into gold or into Bitcoin? Bitcoin and gold I don't even see kind of as the same assets. Gold to me is a commodity, neither of which are, Bitcoin is a currency, neither of which is a store of value. So that's what I wanted to say for the Bitcoin trade and the fundamentals, and those are my market positions, and I will be giving you an update to see if I lose all my money or make some money as the trades develop. Thanks for watching part 11.